Imagine being trapped in the middle of the vast Atlantic Ocean. No land in sight, no help on the way, only a rubber raft standing between you and death. This is not fiction. This is the real story of Stephen Colahan, the man who survived 76 days alone at sea, fighting hunger, sharks, storms, and hopelessness. This is not just a story of survival, it's a story of human willpower, sheer determination, and the fight to stay alive. When the world turns its back on you, the dream and the nightmare begins. In 1981, Stephen Colahan was living his dream, a 29-year-old naval architect and passionate sailor. He had designed and built his own 6.5-meter sailboat named Napoleon Solo. His goal? To participate in the mini Transat 6.50, a solo race across the Atlantic Ocean from France to the Caribbean. Though he did not win, Colahan was not done with the sea. After the race, he sailed alone from Spain, heading towards Antigua in the Caribbean. But fate had other plans. Just 1 week after leaving Spain, disaster struck. On January 29, 1982, in the dead of night, a loud bang shook the boat. Stephen had no idea what hit him. He believed it was a whale or a rough wave. The hull had been braked and water was rushing in. Within minutes, Napoleon Solo was sinking. He had seconds to gather what he could: a life raft, some food, tools, and a small emergency bag. As the sailboat disappeared beneath the waves, Colahan climbed into a 6-foot inflatable raft alone in the middle of the Atlantic. The beginning of isolation. At first, he thought rescue would come quickly. He had activated his EPIRB, emergency poisoning position indicating radio beacon. But in 1982, the devices were not monitoring by satellites. No one was coming, no one even knew he was missing. With only 8 pints of water, some canned food, 3 solar stills, and a spear gun, Stephen began his long journey into isolation. The raft, which he named Ducky, became his home. It was fragile, constantly leaking air, and vulnerable to the elements. The sea was vast and unforgiving. Each day, the sun scorched his skin. At night, the temperature dropped drastically. Salt water sourced from on his body. He was being eaten alive by the sun, by the salt, and by the sea. The structure to survive. Stephen's struggle was not just physical, it was deeply psychological. He was alone, surrounded by an endless ocean. Days blurred into nights. Hope flickered, then faded, only to be rejuvenated by the smallest things: a fish caught, a bird flying overhead. He rationed his food carefully. He used the solar stills to extract drinking water from seawater, but they were slow and unreliable. When they broke, he collected rainwater in makeshift traps. His biggest challenge? Food. He used his spear gun to catch mahi mahi, triggerfish, and flying fish. Sometimes a fish would escape after hours of waiting. Other times, a successful catch meant just a few more days of life. He ate raw fish and drank fish blood. When water was low, he read the manual from his life raft survival kit over and over, not just for information, but to maintain his sanity. But even survival was not guaranteed. The ocean's fury. The ocean is not just water, it's alive, unpredictable, dangerous. Stephen faced violent storms. Stephen faced violent storms that tossed his tiny raft like a toy. Waves crashed over him, lighting tore across the sky. And then there were sharks. Night after night, he could feel them bumping the raft. Curious and hungry, once a shark tore into the bottom, nearly puncturing it. Stephen packed the holes, praying each time that the raft would not collapse. On day 43, a cargo ship passed by. He screamed, waved, shot a flare, but they didn't see him. Or worse, they saw him but didn't care. Imagine the heartbreak of salvation slipping through your fingers. Still, Stephen refused to give up. Mind over madness. 76 days at sea is not just a test of the body, it's a war with your own mind. Stephen fought hallucinations, despair, and loneliness. He kept a journal to stay mentally sharp, tracking his movement using celestial navigation and makeshift sextant. He talked to the raft, to himself, to the ocean. He imagined conversations, wrote letters in his head, replayed memories from childhood. One entry from his journal read, I am sustained by the simple act of existing. Another, at sea, I learned few little a person needs not how much. Even in suffering, even in suffering, he found purpose. He knew he could not control the ocean, but he could control his attitude. Land inside. Then, on the 76th day, he saw something birds circling, changes in watercolor, distinct trees, land. On April 21, 1982, Stephen Colahan finally reached the Caribbean island of Mary Gallant near Guadeloupe. A group of fishermen spotted him and rushed to his aid. He had lost over one third of his body weight, was covered in sores, sunburned and weak, but he was alive. 76 days, over 1800 miles traveled. One man, one raft, one miracle. Life and survival. Life after survival. Stephen was hospitalized, treated, and eventually recovered fully. But the journey changed him forever. He later wrote a best selling book titled Adrift 76 Days Lost at Sea, which became a classic in survival literature and even inspired scenes in movies like Life of Pi. Stephen did not just survive, he thrived. He became a motivational speaker, consultant for survival training, and advocate for ocean safety. His story is taught in classrooms, studied by sailors, and remembered by anyone who's felt lost in life. Final message. Stephen Colahan's story teaches us something powerful, that survival is not just about food or water, it's about willpower, it's about faith in yourself when all signs point into failure, it's about never giving up, even when you are drifting alone in a lifeless sea. Sometimes the ocean swallows people whole, but sometimes it lets them live to tell their story. So the next time you face a challenge, remember Steven, because if he could survive 76 days alone at sea, you can survive anything. In this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.